YouTube? Boon Headshot here. Gonna talk about the bleed build in this video. Season 2 is here, the end of week 1. Hope your vaults were well. So this new, it's not new actually, this bleed's been around since season 1, this build, excuse me. And it was pretty popular in the lower keys because of the amount of damage that you could quickly throw out before everything died. And the hybrid build surpassed it in season 1 just because over time with the larger health pools, the poison hybrid build ramped up and you could do more damage with it. Well, so far in season 2, this build has been very strong through a lot of the keys, and I've been playing a couple with the bleed build, playing a couple with the hybrid build, and I'm liking both. I think that as I learn the keys more, the dungeons that have more single targets in them, I will run the hybrid build just because it is better at single target, not by much, but better than the bleed build. And the keys that are more AoE focused or the bosses that have ads in them, definitely running bleed over hybrid. So the bleed build really excels with multiple targets. Kind of falls flat on a purely single target encounter. So keep that in mind. But the talents, we run down both sides of the assassination tree. We're going to take particular focus on Tiny Toxic Blade and Lightweight Shiv. This whole idea of this build is to play around Sudden Demise with supercharged bleeds. So you can use Deathmark, you can use Shiv. The more damage your bleed is doing, the sooner you can get Sudden Demise to proc, and then the enemies just fall over. And you get accredited with the damage dealt when that happens. So you can make the charts look very good in certain encounters, and so we also don't take Kingsbane. So this build plays 100% around Deathmark, plays around Shiv. You use both Shivs in your opener during the Deathmark window. Very similar to hybrid, you're just not pressing Kingsbane. And the bleeds are doing the rest. Arterial precision is what we're coming down to get. Once you get all your bleeds out, you slam a Shiv. Everybody in the pack, or at least the 7 people in your pack, get hit with it, and then they're all taking empowered bleeds. And the idea here is, like before, supercharged bleeds makes this happen sooner, and then everything dies sooner, and you get the damage dealt to them. And it's pretty crazy when the timing goes right. Like you'll see on the DPS charts, if you mouse over them as you start playing with this build, how much damage Sudden Demise can do. So we're gonna go real quick just through the rotation. And then we're going to have some clips behind this just showcasing the bleeds and talking about the openers or things like that. But the opener is the same as season 1 for Assassination. It's Garrote, Rupture, Garrote again. So everything has Rupture, everything has Garrote, Crimson Tempest, Caustic Spatter, Deathmark, Shiv, and now we just go. We're watching all 3 of these bleeds. When they start to fall off, we can vanish. Shiv just gave out. Reapply. Make sure you've got everything reapplied. Ruptures and Garrotes. Crimson Tempest comes back up. And this is your rotation right here. Use mouse over Ruptures for the ones that are falling off. Mouse over Garrotes, and you keep this going up. So you can see right here, we were cruising around the 6s. We're like 5-6 right now, but it just goes up. The more targets you have in a pole, the more it'll go up. So that is pretty much the spec. Um, throw your shiv every 30 seconds. Pay attention to when you're getting to your last 30 seconds cooldown of Death Mark. Start holding the shivs. Get ready for another big AoE pull with those cooldowns. So here's a couple clips of the bleed build in action, and I'll talk over it as they're going, just so you guys can have some thoughts and ideas on maybe what to do, maybe what not to do. There might be some mistakes. We'll talk about those. So let's get to those right now. All right, so first clip here, level 4, Floodgate. Um, trying to get as many bleeds out real quick here. Find your mark. Death Mark, Shiv, T all goes out. Watch your cooldown. Throw your second Shiv when you can. Yeah, let me see if I can look at that. There's my Vanish. Vanish goes out to reapply bleeds. Didn't like this first pull. I remember this one, thinking that the ads kept spreading out. I wasn't thrilled with it, but we still did really well on those. So here's another large pack. Getting as much bleeds out as I can quickly. Pay attention to the damage bar as it starts to really take off and catch up to the hunter. Pay attention to the health bars of some of these people whenever they just start dying. They'll die 2%, 3%. Some will die even with more health than that, but as the bleeds are empowered, so are you. So, and then as we get back down to just one target, the hunter starts to catch back up. So it's a good showcase of the strengths and weaknesses in this clip here. Moving on. We are waiting. Demon Hunter doing his thing. They start to get grouped up. Bleed it all. Remember that you can target an enemy that doesn't have any bleeds, and when you apply it, the indiscriminate carnage will apply to targets that don't have bleeds. So again, watch the damage meter here as we start to take off and chase this paladin. The entire time I was playing this build, I thought, there's no way this is going to be as good as hybrid. And it continues to surprise me. So it's funny that I can kick a machine to silence it. Alright, so here is Mama. So it was my first time in here, and we lust off the bat. I'm attacking the boss, thinking that the killing the ads fast enough with the cleave is the right way, and a lot of inexperience on display here. But even with that, as this fight's going on, I want you to watch the health on the ads when they come back out after I start to figure out the timing. You're going to see me vanish on the ads whenever they've got about half health left, and start applying those supercharged bleeds to them as they're trying to die. And it's pretty crazy to see how much health they still have whenever they do die. So that's what I want you guys to watch here as these ads start to die off. We're going to be watching for that vanish. Got bleeds out, using the mouse over on the ones that I can get a hold of. Vanish went out. And boom, that one just fell over. And the others are going to start dropping pretty quickly too. Seeing that they are starting to die off, I'm starting to set up Darkest Night for this recharge phase. At least getting it ready as quickly as I can. And there's the first one. I think I only get one off before she dies. But a pretty good fight to showcase just how powerful sudden demise can be. In this clip here, we are grabbing these guys, and then the Demon Hunter goes over and grabs another pack. You'll see my Vanish go out, and then I use the cooldowns as they come up. So there's Vanish, you hear it. Garrotes are going out, Ruptures are going out. And there's Death Mark into a T, into a Shiv. And then we just get off as many Envenoms as we can during this window. See the utilization of Mouse over. Ruptures on a couple of them there as I was trying to keep the bleeds rolling. But we're going to switch over and look at some stuff out of a 9 Mother Load. Coming up now. Alright, so here's a 9 Mother Load, the first pull. You're going to see us grab this whole big pack and then kind of chain pull into the pack across the road. These assassins do a Fan of Knives channel that you have to interrupt with. You can use Blind, you can use Kidney Shot. But again, pay attention to their health as they start to die and how much that starts to increase the DPS that you have. Vanish is going to go out here, reapplying bleeds on all the new stuff. Shiv goes out here. Some of them start to get lower health. And we just kind of shoot forward as a couple of them start dying off. Mouse over Ruptures are being used here as we start to slow down and we work on the big guy with the most health. And we cleave onto the smaller adds. And goes pretty well. The new affix is also not the worst, as long as people stand still for you and you can run over the orbs. But we chain pull up this whole street here, so if you're dealing with a tank that is non-stop pulling, it might be best to save your Vanishes for the next big packs instead of trying to maintain the improved bleed on whatever pack you're messing with. You can see me start working. There's the other Vanish as well, so Garrotes and Ruptures are all being reapplied. And then Shiv goes out. And you just keep cruising. I think we have non-stop hit 4 million DPS for the last 2 minutes. So this is a very strong spec for targets of 3 or more. And Motherlode has 2 single target fights, the first boss and the third. But the others you do very well in. went ahead and vanished again there and reapplied powered bleeds to everything as their health starts to get a little lower. Trying to work out the timing here. +9, everything's got a lot more health, so trying to figure out when I should try to go for it. And just learning it still. This is the end of week 1. Or I should say this is the beginning of week 2. That's the end of poll 1 right there. So let's see what else we've got. Alright, so here we have Rock Boss. This one is pretty easy. He does a couple cleaves, he does an AoE. He's going to empower one of his 2 ads. He always has ads up. He will respawn them, so this is great for our bleed build. The only thing you really have to watch as a rogue is which ad to put your death mark on. So as long as you're doing that correctly and you're switching it, your bleeds will do the rest. When you've got an opportunity, you can put death mark on the actual boss and get some empowered hits off on him while he is summoning a new ad or empowering a new one. You can see me switch over to the one that got empowered pretty quickly. Looking for an opportunity for cooldowns. There's Vanish, Death Mark, everything went out. And you can watch just how quickly its health went away. And then back on the boss. So he's got like the same graphic as General Umbrus, like the scorched earth under his feet that you have to watch out for. But this fight is pretty good for our build. Between Sun Demise and the Hunter, like their health is just disappearing once it gets down to those execute phases. But yeah, just to go over it again, this is all about bleed management, dot management, and good positioning. Alright guys, one final clip here just to finish out this video showcasing some of the limitations for this bleed build. In single target, man, it really leaves a lot to be desired. So as you'll see during this phase, as well as us fumble through this, the build itself, you get to really see the strengths and the weaknesses of it. And that's pretty much all I had left to talk about. If you made it this far, thank you for being here. Subscribe for more, because I've got more coming in the pipe. We're going to be hitting 10 soon. 10 keys are going to start getting posted. 12s, 13s, as high as I can get. So keep that in mind here as the weeks go on. I appreciate everybody, so thank you so much for being on with me. Be sure to check out the streams. I'm streaming mostly in the early mornings, around 5 in the morning till 8 or so Eastern time. Stop in and say hello. Twitch TV at BoonheadShot. And I'm gonna let this video just finish playing out for you, just so you can see where it stacks up. But as always, I will see you on the next one.